Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. We are on the northeast side of Ukraine near to the Kupiansk, and today we're gonna review some of the tactical charts. So here you can see Svatove, so the area where Ukrainian forces advanced before, and we went through this river, across it, and we took this part of the land, which was very important. But now Russia reinforced Svatove, they put more forces near to the front lines itself, and also they try to counterattack, but we have 95's brigade, which is very strong, fighting here near to Nevskaya before Russia was able to move to this river, which is over here, but later on were thrown away to their last positions. Our main goal is to take this road under control, and that will help us to go to Svatove in a winter time. And also near to Svatove, for example, here we have this some sort of the pocket near to Karmazinovka village that will allow Ukrainian army to go and take the city, but it should not stay here like that for a very long time, otherwise Russia may throw reinforcements to those villages and they may simply encircle our forces here. Not many forces, but still we count every man. And this, my friends, is the Donbass war theater. As you can see, Russia still tries to attack across the front line, especially near to Bakhmut. We're gonna zoom into that one a little bit later. And today President Zelensky attended Slaviansk, which is not far away from the front line. So actually Russia might have used even the rocket artillery systems to target President Zelensky. I think it was the response from President Zelensky, since yesterday President Putin attended the Kerch bridge and checked out the repair job. So here, as you can see, all across the front lines, Russia is still attacking. So this is the Bakhmut city, and Russia continued their tries to get it encircled or partially take it from the eastern part, and they lose quite a lot of forces every day. And as you can see, the main attack force for Russians is Wagner army, and mostly they use nowadays ex-prisoners, so they just waste that cannon fodder, destroying it, killing it in Bakhmut city. And I wonder why it's not shown in this map, but Wagner soldiers moved closer to the city, taking the part of this park, and I don't know why we don't have this vector here. But anyways, Ukrainian defense is in a city itself. We were able to build it all across the city, except this part. As you can see, we are missing defense. That's why Russian soldiers decided to go from Andriivka village and go from this side to take Bakhmut from the western part. Obviously, that will not be successful because this terrain is not very flat. There are some hills, also there are some roads, rivers, and we also may attack or counterattack them from the western part as well, from this side. So my prediction, with the forces that they have, they are unable to take that city. And we also moved our soldiers from the Kherson direction to defend Bakhmut. So yes, for sure they will not take control all over the city. The worst thing for Ukraine, I think, that Wagner soldiers would take the part of the city, this one, all across the river that goes through the city, dividing it into two parts, so they may take this smaller part. About the Donetsk direction, you can see many vectors of the Russian attacks, but definitely no movement from their side. Yes, recently they took Opatna, it happened like 2 weeks ago, but since that time they didn't move further. The same if we speak for Vesela, Krasnohorivka. They attack every day, they fire artillery systems, but without any profit for them so far. And Russia uses their standard firewall tactics, so they use artillery systems, not like Ukrainian side when we occasionally fire towards the Russian positions, ammunition depots and warehouses. So we use drones to make it more precise, but Russia, they definitely fire lots of their artillery systems at the same time, and the second line they also fire them. They create the wall of fire, so I call it firewall. But this tactics has two of the disadvantages. First of all, they waste lots of resources, the ammunition shells. And before, there were some of the rumors that Russia even asked North Korea to provide them with ammunition for their artillery systems, because somehow they cannot produce them any longer in a quantity they need nowadays. The second thing, that every artillery system, every barrel has its own resource, and if you waste it for just destroying the ground, yes, you destroy also the forces of the enemy, but you waste lots of the shells for nothing. And that is why they need a lot of the artillery systems, and they also in lack of that stuff. Half of their artillery systems are already on repair or useless. And that's why we see the Russian artillery dated from the Second World War on the front lines. If we move from Donetsk to Pavlovka and Vuhledar, here you can see the standstill situation, because we sent more reinforcements. We were able to reinforce our defense in Vuhledar, and Russia took Pavlovka, the part of it, around 3 weeks ago. So it was the huge fighting in that part, and I think it was for the first time that Russia used the trained mobilized soldiers brigade. Yes, they already used them before, but for the first time they created the brigade from all of the mobilized soldiers, and they waste around 500 of them and totally around 1,000 soldiers in attempt to take Pavlovka. They didn't take all of the village, so there were two of the major attacks on Pavlovka. First one was very chaotic. They went there, they see the resistance, they start to retreat, and those soldiers, the second line of the Russian soldiers, saw how soldiers are running on them, and they start to shoot. That's why they had so many losses in Pavlovka. And our soldiers are saying that there are lots of bodies just lying on the freezing ground. As for the Kherson region, my friends, as you can see, no any change. Forces are still keeping their brigades very close to the Dnieper River, even though Russia somehow, and I don't know why, put one of their brigade just to the sand pit of Oleshki. And now let's go to the latest news and events. Again, the Russian airfield, this time in Kursk. And here is the oil storage, the big one. Somehow it exploded and caught fire during the night and the daytime. I think there is not that much that firefighters may do to eliminate the oil fire. I guess they just waited for some time until the fire stopped there. And as you can see, long smoke from that airfield. The Kursk city is not far away, not that far compared to Saratov, Ruzzian that we are speaking about in our previous cases, in our previous video, but still far away from the front lines. And this photo came from the Engels Russian military airfield. Here definitely you can see the trace of the rocket that hit the apron very close, in very close proximity to Tupolev 95, and here you can see the fire foam around the airplane. So I guess they used those maybe fire machines to eliminate the fire that this airplane caught because of the damage. And as an aviation guy, I understand that Russia completely lost that airplane because they are no longer in production. And it also depends on the damages that this airplane, particular one, sustained. But in any case, it needs to go through the bureaucratic road and some tests to be repaired. It's not like the car, it's the very precise high-tech unit that is no longer in production. Actually, it's very old school, but still it's the piece of aviation, and everything should be done according to the manuals, and now it's impossible. Especially in Russia, then they don't have enough resources, but still they have many of those Tupolevs 95s, very old school, and probably I'm gonna show you the part of the cockpit. The Tupolev 95 NATO reporting name Bear is large 4-engine turboprop-powered strategic bomber and missile platform. First flown in 1952, the Tupolev 95 entered service with the long-range aviation of Soviet Air Forces in 1956 and expected to serve in Russian airspace forces until at least 2040. The aircraft has 4 Kuznetsov and K-12 engines with counter-rotating propellers. It is the only propeller-powered strategic bomber still in operation today. The Tupolev 95 is the loudest military aircraft, particularly because of the tips of propeller blades move faster than speed of sound. Its distinctive swept-back wings are set at an angle of 35 degrees. The Tupolev 95 is unique as propeller-driven aircraft with swept wings that has been built in large numbers. More than 500 of those were produced. Tupolev 95. It's the first time for me to get there. Wow! So you go through the nose landing gear entrance. So here you have the door for the crew. Wow, what a smell! Every Soviet aircraft smells like that. Wooden floor, exactly as on this past bus that delivered me here. Oh, what is there? Probably it's for navigator. Oh no, it's for radio. Oh, maybe it's the guy who drummed the bombs. I know how to call the guy. Bomber or something. Whoa, it's like a room or a small carriage, and yeah, some of the cameras here. I'll drop my things over here for the first officer seat. Oh my god, this cockpit is so enormously huge. Wow, my friends, this is this is nice actually. Oh, the pedals are in place. Wow, the yoke is so large, so huge. Oh my god. But I would say the navigation, the flight instruments are more or less modern. It's like on Yakovlev 42 or something. Standby looks similar to Boeing, and very, very interesting as well. Probably it is the weather radar or not. Probably not. And this is the missile detector. Probably the missile is coming from this side, that side. Probably this is the autopilot. I'm not really sure. What is this? What is this? For the GoPro mount, to mount the GoPro. And we also can go down to the oh, there's no one there. On some airplanes like Tupolev 134, the navigator place is downstairs behind the curtains, but here no. The trim wheel is here. 1, 2, 3, 4 engines. Oh my god. What is that? The glass, the windshield cleaner. Wow, interesting. Whew. So I like it a lot. This is the parking brake. It works exactly. Yeah, it's connected. Oh, I said the parking brake, my friends, and I can release it. Yeah, exactly on Boeing 737. Oh my god. What is this? Probably this for the windshield heat or something through this duct. Wow, such a nice machine, my friends. What is this? What is this? Feathering of the engine, feathering, pneuma feathering, and yeah, emergency landing gear extension. Oh, this is the autopilot. Disengage. We have 2 autopilots, probably left, right bank. What is this? I'm not really sure. Well, my friends, the cockpit. The cockpit is so huge, my friends, so large. Unimaginable to have this kind of cockpit on commercial airliner. This is for the guy, for the flight engineer, all the engine parameters, all the switches, etc. And this is probably for navigator. We have the machine, the calculator to calculate everything. Probably it is, yes, for navigator, and this is for the guys. No, maybe, oh, this is for navigator. That is, I don't really know. I don't really know this airplane. I'm not type rated on this one. But my friends, this is absolutely great machine, and It's absolutely fantastic to have this opportunity to visit this cockpit. First time here, and wow, it's wow. So no pedestal, as you see. We have separate throttle control for the captain, for the first officer. As you see, they are interconnected. Beautiful, beautiful machine, very beautiful. I'm almost 100% sure that all of the planes that you see today, they will never fly again. From one point, I'm happy about it, because as I say to you, most of those planes, they used to deliver the mass destruction weapon to kill people. That is why I'm not really into military aviation. From other side, I can understand those birds. I feel that they have some kind of soul, you know. Those planes, they used to fly, and it will be absolutely great to see those planes just flying in the skies, not killing everyone, but just flying. I really like this kind of fighter jets, you know. They are so enormously powerful, they are so enormously maneuverable, and yeah, I would like to try to fly the fighter jet at least once in my life, my friends. Anthony Blinken said that Russia is looking for the false peace with Ukraine, and they gonna use that break in a war to collect more resources, to prepare more soldiers for the second big attack on Ukraine, I think including Kiev, the capital of the city, because without Kiev they cannot take Ukraine. And today, the 6th of December, the day of Ukrainian army, so my congratulations with your professional party, all of the soldiers of Ukrainian army who are fighting for our freedom, for the right to be Ukrainians. If we lose in this war, we're still gonna fight, but on Russian side against the Western countries, as Chechens do right now. So then they lost their war against Russia, they start to fight in other war in Ukraine. We don't need that. We have our friends on the West who help us a lot, especially with military help. Thank you so much for that, my friends. So no matter what, but we gonna win this war against the overwhelmingly big enemy as Russia. Russian tactical bomber Sukhoi 24 was shot down near to the Bakhmut. It's the second airplane in 2 consecutive days that was shot down at the same particular place. And here are the belongings of the guy, the personal of the crew, let's say. There are 2 pilots, one navigator, let's say, and the other one is piloting the airplane. So some kind of the food even, and those are the helmets. As you can see, they were not able to eject from the airplanes, and you may guess what happened to them. As for the helmets, they should not be sturdy, because they are aviation helmets. They need to protect the head against just some sort of the shocks and maybe some sort of the small impacts. And also they need to be quite light. So those are the Soviet Zesha 3, I think, helmets, and still okay. Well, this one is not okay because there are some cracks and maybe some sort of the debris inside. But definitely the model is okay. And here's the President Zelensky near to Slaviansk, not far away from the front lines. As you can see, some of the cars are passing on the background. It's saying that he is very close to his own people. Nothing, even the road was not blocked because of his visit, because people in general, we like President Zelensky. I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine. Don't forget to press the like button, and if you want to support me financially, there are some links in the video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal, or Donatello, whichever is more convenient for you. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.